Good. So you hit a really nice approach shot where you came in, you got sideways, but you stayed there. So you've got to make sure you come in, have that confidence to come into the net and just make sure you finish that off. So it's reading which shots are you hitting, do you think that you're going to anticipate a short ball off? So maybe something wider, something deep. Any time that you think instead of hitting a top spin, I might open the string bed and slice it. You know, anything I look defensive where I'm stretched, this is going to cause a short ball. Also, if you're putting it really deep straight to my feet, I might struggle to get over it and hit it back. So look for me hitting defensively. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call out what my intention is on the ball. So you can get an idea of what I'm doing with the ball based on what you're giving me. And if you hear defense, it's a time to step in. Now defensive shots, I'm likely to try and punch it up high and deep. So you don't want to go in too far. You'll have to step back and recover behind the baseline to get it. But if I do falter on my defensive shot, then that's your opportunity to take advantage of that short ball. Okay, so your forehand's really nice on the approach. When you get set and you push up into that ball, you can just target the backhand a little bit more. The backhand needs a little bit of work. The main issue is because you're right eye dominant, being a lefty, on that backhand side, getting into that close stance position and then pushing up just isn't good for you. So you've got to use an open stance or semi-open stance here. Bang. And come in. Okay, so you've got two options with your backswing. Instead of taking it here and then going back, you can take it here and then drop it and go forwards. And I think this is what would suit you because you've got this paused position. Instead of pausing it here, you're going to pause it back here. And then all you have to do is drop your wrists and go. The other option is you just lose this kink here and you just go straight to that position. But I feel like you quite like having your wrists up and then you time the wrist drop as the ball bounces before you step forwards and take it. Yeah? You see where your racket's positioned when you take it back? It's here. It's quite difficult, but you've got to try and take it all the way back and then move in this position, get set, drop, go. I think maybe what the issue is, your backswing is so big. If you could reduce that backswing just to there, so it's not going all the way back here, there, it's quite manageably in front of you then. Now your racket is going to a position where you can't see the strings anymore. If you can't see the strings, you haven't got that much control over them, and then you've got a long way to come through before you make contact. Okay, so you've got to reduce your backswing just to here, and then be able to generate the power through your rotation, having a shorter backswing. In fact, I don't want you to stop going close stance either. But the difference is if you had left eye dominancy and you're a left-hander, I'll just show you on the right-hand side so it's easier for me. Then you can't come across like this. What we have to do, and I'm the same on my backhand, is that we have to come out with the foot and then get our feet lined up. So at very least we can be lined up and I can still have my head forwards. In this position I can keep my left eye on the ball, your right eye, and I can still hit the shot. So you'll come out with your right foot behind the ball. If you haven't got time, you can hit it in your open stance position. And if you do have time, you can step into the shot and have that close stance, keeping your head forwards. But sometimes, a lot of the time, you're going to be hitting open stance because you've got a little bit more preparation in the footwork compared to a left eye or left eye dominant lefty who could step across and just take that ball a bit quicker. So you've got more footwork to do. And if you find you're taking the shortcut across, then you probably should have taken it open stance instead. Okay, so you've got a lot of footwork to do on that side. Not only are you right eye dominant, on that side. So you have to come across before you go in, but also because you're two-handed, you haven't got the same reach as a one-hander would have. So you've got double footwork there. Than say somebody who was left eye dominant lefty hitting a one-hander, they've got all the time in the world compared to you. So you really are a forehand dominant player, and you've got to build your game around keeping that ball on the forehand side, and then any short balls running around your backhand and hitting that close stance forehand with all the rotation that you can get. You have the little flick of the hand, and the hands do a lot of work in the double-handed backhand. You've got two hands on them, so you've got that leverage to be able to pull up with the left, push down with the right. You know, in the other shots we wouldn't recommend it. We'd say stay loose, don't do a lot with the wrist. But in the two-hander is a little bit different. Yeah, so just hitting a more open stance than you are, because what I saw at the beginning is you tend to step across and hit this ball like this, and then you'll mistiming it because you haven't got the right eye on the ball. Yeah, and this is probably why you really struggle with the slice as well, because the slice is no doubt hit. You know, you've got such a shoulder turn when we turn our back to the ball with the slice that there's no way, if I close my right eye now, I can't see past this post here. So there's no way you're going to be able to do any kind of shoulder turn into the slice or cut across. And because it's a defensive shot, you'll tend to be hitting the slice like this with the wrong eye on the ball. So the shot that you need to work on is open stance topspin. So it's not the slice out wide where you've got your back to it, it's the one where you're going forwards and you see your head's forwards. That approach slice is going to be absolutely fine for you. It's just the wide slice. So you can build that approach slice, and that's why I said at the beginning, you know, on your approach shot on the backhand, you've got those two options of one, hitting that topspin backhand, or opting for the slice approach. You're going to be slicing straight into their backhand and spinning it away from their backhand, which is great. I think the slice approach is going to be a super shot for you. You can keep your head forward, so you can spin it off to the side. Yeah. So let's look at that one as the approach, rather than your topspin two-hander, which is quite a difficult shot, especially in a semi-open stance position. Whereas the slice, I think you'll have a bit more opportunity on that side spin, and plus with the slice, it's giving you more time to get in behind it as well.